Everyone, this is Robin Pike with Crafty Stamper, and today we're going to be working with a new set that will be coming out on Tuesday, March 3rd, and it's called Ready, Set, Go. And I thought it was a good set to use for my grandson, who will be having a birthday March 20th. So I went ahead and got this because, as you know, as a demonstrator, you get to pre-order things before they actually become available to customers. So, but like I said, this will be active for customers come the 3rd of March. And so I had actually created this card, and it's just from a sample that they show on the online exclusives. This is an online exclusive. And that just means it's online and not in a catalog anywhere. And so, and they had shown this card here, this sample. So I thought I would create that. But then I turned around and I joined a challenge with Global Project. Let's see, what is it? Global, well, I can't think of the name of it right now. Something Global Project. Anyway, and so it was a design that they wanted you to case, and one that the girl had created was using one of the little dog sets from, I guess, about a year ago. And so anyway, I thought, well, since I have this stamp set out on my desk already, let's see if I can recreate her setup, because she had 2 layers on top of her base. Then she had the strips here, and of course hers were different paper and stuff, and a different embossing folder on the background. And then she had used a circle die for her sentiment and for the little dog. And so I decided to go with this set, which is from the Nest Essentials dies. And it was the second one that's on here. There's a large one and a small one. Well, actually, it's the second from the largest or third from the smallest, because there is a little tiny banner here too. So you've got this one, and you've got that one, this one, and then this one here. And I used this one. So, and then I just stamped my greeting on there, and then cut the flags out. You do have to fussy cut on this one. It's just a stamp set, and it doesn't come with dies or anything. So you have to fussy cut, but it's not hard at all. It's really simple, and it doesn't take you long. But and it's only $18. I mean, that's a steal days with everything and the expense of everything. And so if you have grandkids, you have grandsons, even, granddaughters, hey, they get out there and race too. So anyway, I think this would be a really good set. And for the price, I think it's really good too. And on the inside, I just put happy birthday, and then just cut out another race card there and colored it yellow with our Stampin' Blends. And then I did this one in red. So show you how I created this card. And like I said, it's really simple. And I went ahead and did some of the work. Let's see if I can leave this setting over here. I may have to move it later, but I went ahead and did some of the work, but I will go over some of it with you. And I'm going to move these over to the side, because I knew you wouldn't want to see me fussy cut and color in all of that. So I went ahead and did some of it for you, or for the video, I guess I should say. But let's go ahead, and I'm going to get a basic white piece of paper, and I'm just going to cut it down. It's just going to be, I need to look for a scrap sheet, but it'll be all right. I'm just going to stick this in here. And I used our Stampin' Positioner for this card. It made it very simple. So if you have heard about this, it is a wonderful tool. I don't know if you're a demonstrator, you had an option to purchase it. And if you're a customer, you had the option to become a demonstrator and go ahead and purchase this. So either way, you could get it, and you can still get it through March. I believe it's March 2nd. We can, people who sign up can still get this. And so it's a really good tool, especially for this. I've used it several times, so it's good to have a Stampin' Positioner back. So here, it has these two little grooves here, and so I just placed the paper in between those, and that kind of keeps the paper from sliding as much. And then these are our magnetic pieces, and they're really good. They got the little tabs, so they're easy to pull up, and I'm really enjoying this position. Okay, so we're going to flip it around here, and I'm just going to look at it and make sure I'm not, the magnetics are not interfering, and it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can put this up here. Well, this is my piece of paper. That was stupid of me. I was thinking it was an extra sheet of paper. I'll try it again here in just a second. I'll get something else on here. So let's just push this up here and this here. And then let me see if I can get a piece of paper over here to show you what I'm talking about. No, I can't. You're just going to have to see that the light on there, because I need the light to actually, see with and everything. It helps to brighten up the room. You don't realize how much you need the light until it's off and you're like, wow, it really is dark in here. Okay, so let me see if I can scoot it over this way. Okay, that's a little bit better. That way you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so this just slides off, and I'm going to flip it over. And I'm using the Tuxedo black ink, the Memento. And so I'm just going to ink up the stamp. And then just set it on top of here. Move that card out of the way. And then we're just going to stamp down. And that way you go ahead and get both of them done at the same time. And there you see it missed a little bit, which it could probably do that with your, well, I've gone blank with everything today. With these things, whatever they're called right now. Isn't that terrible? What is it about that? Anyway, our blocks. That's what I'm trying to say, is our blocks. So, okay. So here, we're just going to set it back down here again. And then press down again. Okay. Let's see. Looks like there's a little bit missing right in here. And you can see it's right here on the stamp. So I'm going to push on it a little bit more. And I think that's got it. I think that looks good. So we're just going to take this off now. It's just that. Go ahead and put these back on there so I don't lose those. All right. And so here, I just went ahead and I started coloring, and I used the light and the dark red. Go ahead and put the lid on this. And I've got the smoky slate, the light and the dark on this. So I'm just going to do one of these. And so we can do the red one first. And then, like I said, you've seen the yellow one. And, it's just the same thing. We're just going around through here. And I used the bullet tip because the other one is kind of big, and I used it on my very first card, and it kind of wanted to get out of the lines. So I decided I would use the bullet tip. I seem to be able to handle it a little bit better. And then trying to go around that 56 without, because I want it to stay white. Or you could color it. You could do anything you wanted to with it. And we're just trying to dot down the center and try to get that little area right there in the 6. It's kind of little bitty bits there to try to work with, but it's not a big deal. If you get out of line, it's not going to be the end of the world. And so here, just going to flip my paper around. And then just going to go down through here. Let's see. And that, I'm going to make that little piece right there. And then there's a little piece right there I'm going to do. Okay, I think that's got all of that. Now I'm going to let that dry for a minute, and I'm going to move on to the tires. And we're just going to do them in the light smoky slate. We're going to do a helmet. And right there around the steering wheel. And I'm not sure what that's supposed to be up there, but okay, so now we're going to get the dark. And we're just going to go inside in the center. And then here, I'm going to try to create some little lines here on the tires. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to go over it. But I'm going to use the bigger tip on here and just kind of lightly brush over it, because I still want to see those little lines in it. And I think I'm going to go over this outside edge just a little bit more. Seems like it's a little dark, a little light. Okay, now I think that looks good there. So from here, we're just going to fussy cut that out. Like I said, it's very simple, and I'm just cutting down the paper just to get it to where it's a smaller piece for me to work with. And I'm just going to start right over here and just curve around and leave you a white edge on it, because you don't notice it as much when it's got the white edge. And see, that's just a straight line there. So like I said, it is not hard at all. And we're just going to circle around through here. So y'all, my youngest grandson will be 8, March 20th. And he is just a joy. And he's our miracle baby. The doctors were not expecting him to make it. And we had some bad news when my daughter-in-law was pregnant, but he made it, and he is a smart little boy and loves life. All right, so let's move this out of the way. He makes everyone smile that's around him. And so here, I forgot about it, but I'm going to go back over this on the little lines that they give you here, and just kind of that up and give it some dimension. Okay. And we have that. So I think that looks pretty good. It's so cute, I think. Okay, so we've got that. So let's go ahead and let's start working. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and let's get our die, and we're going to cut out our little banner. Let's see. Oh, it's going to be. Then I'll tell you, I told you it was the second from the largest, but it's actually the largest. It's not the second. I did have the second to the largest that I was going to use, but it was too small. So it's actually not the second. It's going to be your big one. All right, so let's put this here. get our plates out. And then put this down and run it through. Okay. I think I need to get me some new plates. These are looking pretty rough. And it keeps leaving. Here's a little dot. I don't think you can, yeah, you can see it right there. A little dot right there. It kind of indents it. There's something that is making it do that. And that's why I just need to get me some new ones. But I try to get as much use out of them as I can. Okay, so here we're going to do ready, set, go. And I've already got my stamps blocks. I'm going to bring it down here closer. Make sure that's good and dark. And you kind of want to put this up at the top. Looks like I got a little crooked, but it'll be all right. All right. And so then I went ahead and I've cut out our flags. But in here, you have your little flags. And they're very simple to do. Just want to stamp those and then just cut them out. And they're easy to cut out. It doesn't take long at all. I'm not going to go over that right because I know you don't want to sit here and watch me cut out flags. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this down. And I've got my small little bottle of glue with that little precision tip. And that kind of helps. And then I'm putting it up at the top. Trying to put everything up here as far as it'll go because the card takes up a good bit of space here. And then I want to take this little piece right here. I guess that's supposed to be tire tracks or something. I don't know. We're using it like that. It might be something totally different. I don't know. But that's what I'm using for today. So, and I'm just going to put this right down here. Okay. So we've got that done. Back up and move these over. And then I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. And I just put them right here, just along the banner, instead of trying to put them on the car and the race car and make sure that, you know, it's in the right place. Because we didn't want them to go too far out because then it'd be sticking on the rest of the card. So, and then there we have our banner and it's ready. Okay, so from here, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to start putting our card together. So on this, I'm going to get the, oh, I tell you what, I almost forgot to emboss this piece right here. So let me get that back out and let's get that embossed. I don't know if you can tell or not, but you see which embossing folder it is? I love this embossing folder. It is the Lovely Stripes embossing folder. Such a cool folder, I think. I've used it a lot. But if you don't have it, you might want to add it to your list. You'll be using it a lot too. All right, so let's go ahead and get the correct folders that we need. We're going to be using our gray plate on this one. We'll be using the number 1 plate, and then we'll be using the gray plate. Okay, and here I'm just going to line it up with the black line here where Stampin' Up is, and I want it to go up and down on my pen. So I'm just going to stick it right about there because my card's going to turn this way. And either way, if you did it that way, it could go sideways like that. So. I just thought this little design um, that was done. Leah is her name, and she's the one that created the design, and it's on Global Design Projects, is what it is. And so you can just, they have little challenges and stuff, and you just play along with them. And so it's fun. It's fun to get out there and, try your hand at different things that someone else has done and then make it your own. So I always like to try to get in on some of those challenges when I can. Okay. And I put a good bit of glue on there because this one is one that, needs to have enough to get down in the crevices and everything in between. Don't want it to come up. Okay. And then from here, I get on Stampin' Dimensionals. And we're just going to take these off. I like the colors in this. The yellow and the reds and the Secret Sea colors. And I don't know if I told you or not, but this paper comes from the mixed pattern papers. All three of those are in that package. And I will have this up on my Crafty Stamper website. It will be Tuesday before I'm able to load the stamp set and everything. So look for it on Tuesday, and it'll have the dimensions and everything, and it'll have the supplies needed. So just look for it on Tuesday. So, because that's when it will go live on Stampin' Up's website, and then I can use the go ahead and get the product put in there, because right now it's only available to the demonstrators. So I'm unable to put it in there right now for customers to purchase. All right, so here we go. Here, I'm just putting a little glue on here, and we're just going to kind of slant it over this way. There's not a right or wrong way to do it. I just kind of stuck it on there like that. And then this one, I just kind of laid over that one and pushed it more this way. And then this one, I went ahead and did second because it's underneath the yellow and white piece. I just kind of did it over that way. And then just kind of laid this over this first one that I put down, and then kind of got it over that corner there of this one. Okay, so now I need to get this back out, and then we're going to put dimensionals on it. And then the front of our card will be ready. And see, it comes together fairly, I think. And your grandkids would love it. And it will go live on Tuesday. So if it is a set that you think you might want, go out there and grab it. All right, and here I'm just going to try to just kind of get it up here close to the top. I don't want it directly in the center. Let's see if that looks straight. Yeah, that looks good there. And then there is our card front. And so let's go ahead. I've already cut this piece. And like I said, the dimensions will be out on my Crafty Stamper blog. You can go over there on Tuesday and get them, and it'll have all the supplies. And if you make a card, let me know about it. And here I'm just going to put the happy birthday at the top. And I love that font. I love the way it does the dark down here and then has that open there, I think, and just gives the outline. I think that really looks good. Perfect for little kiddos. All right, from here, I'm going to put a little car here, and I'm just going to glue it because I don't want to add the dimension to it. Luckily, my grandkids live close by, and so I will be able to handle this. But, you know, sometimes they may not live so close, you know, and so you may have to mail it until you see them, you know. And so, anyway, it would save on postage just putting it on glue. All right. So, let's go ahead and get this put down, and then our card will be finished. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you do, like and subscribe to my channel. I would very much appreciate it. And tell your friends about it and share. share. Because I do love doing all of this. I love making cards. I enjoy it so much. And so, and I love to see your feedback. I love to see your comments, and I read them, and it just makes me happy. So I hope everyone has a great day and a great weekend. And until next time I see you, you have a great day and happy stamping. Bye.